Hi, and thanks again for joining me on another episode of MTV. Today I'm going to talk about how to upgrade your concrete patio. Now, many people have got patio areas outside, or what they might call a porch, where live on a ground floor, single story home, and they could utilise it or upgrade a little bit, and it becomes a bit of an eyesore. A lot of them are old aged, a lot of them have old tiles on there, or they could be slippery tiles from back in the day, or they just have tiles that's starting to lift and they need to remove them and do something with them. Or you might have a bungalow with one of those old painted porch patio areas. So what do you do with it? Well, there's a range of options you've got. Let's go back to the tiling option. If you would like to keep that tiled look, so it might flow in with what you've got inside the home, then if they're existing tiles, you may need to remove them. There are ways of going over to tile on tile, and if you want some advice on that, please call us, because we've got some specialty products to help you in that regard. But if you are going to go that way, you need to make sure the tiles are very sound and stable. Otherwise, you remove them. If they're easy to remove, you take them off and you go back to concrete. Now, one of the things that people forget with older homes and patios, particularly if they're going to tile on them, is the waterproofing piece. Now, even though it's not suspended, like it's a double story, it's ground floor, a lot of old patios actually were built without no damp course underneath the concrete. And what happens is you get rising damp still from homes where the damp course is aged or it's actually not there. And what will happen if you don't treat that or waterproof that concrete porch is that the dampness will rise up into the tile bed, and that's where you get efflorescence and salt damp coming into the tile grout joints, and it becomes a real ugly problem, and you've got to keep treating that, and that's expensive and it's high maintenance. By putting a vapor barrier or a membrane down first, before you tile, any rising damp can't come through, and ensures that the look of the flooring remains that way for the life of those tiles. So please remember to consider that if you're going down that path. The other options you got with tiles, with the concrete patio, is that you can also strip the tiles off, grind that concrete back, get it all level, or you might have to use a self-leveling product that you can get it nice and level if need be, and then or patch up any of the divoted concrete. And then there are good products like some paving paints that you can get, non-slip paints that are out there, or coatings that will actually give you a more decorative effect. These are much more low-cost options than going down the path of tiles, and you may want to consider that. But you must make sure the product you have is durable enough for foot traffic, regular foot traffic, and also it can handle the weather and UV, particularly water. So you need to understand that with coatings, they're not as durable as a ceramic tile. So ensure that you've got something that is going to be durable enough, or it can be easily repaired. When you're using any coating outside on a patio or balcony, porch area, you need to understand that if it does have a limited life, that you don't need to grind it back every time you want to repaint it or recoat it. That you can give it a good clean, perhaps put a special primer down, and then get over it again. Because if you've got to keep grinding that off back to the concrete, it's a lot of work, a lot of headache, and a lot of expense. So understand where those options are. The other one you can go with, which we're seeing it's more and more popular these days, people are liking the look of natural concrete. And you may find that it blends in quite well with the rest of the home, or it doesn't overpower the decorative look that you might have with the walls and the floors or the framing. So with a natural concrete look, yes, there is the way you can keep that left exposed. You can put clear sealers down, there's gloss sealers. There are also matte sealers out in the market that are designed for concrete. Or you can go with something like our Monsta Naked concrete sealer, which will actually not change the appearance of the concrete at all, but will stop any water and staining being absorbed into that surface. These are the little things you need to check out and look at first. Understand the look that is you want, then you work back on what your budget is, and then you make your decision from there. It's a small area of the concrete patio or porch, but to turn it from an eyesore into something you actually enjoy going out on and happy for people to actually walk in on as well. And thing that I just forgot one thing before, but you got to remember things like if you're going to be resting pot plants, etc. on there, the sorts of floor finishes you're going to have, can they handle that? Are they going to stain? If you've got any of the sort of staining from watering pots, etc. Take all that into account. Maybe you might have a barbecue that's resting out there. So piece that all together, factor all that into what you're going to do, and then the logical choice will be from there to drive the selection on which product you're going to use or finish you're going to want for your porch and patio. If you'd like more details and advice and help on this, Monsta Crew is a free 10-minute consult. We can help you with that. Or we've got one of our Monsta Pros. We can do the face-to-face Skype call and give you all the advice you're going to want. You can upload your photos, show us exactly what you have, and we can help you from there. I'm looking forward to seeing photos of your concrete porch and the work you do. Any questions, drive them our way. I'll see you next time on MTV.